rank sum test. If we have more than two groups, that I call it a Kruskal-Wallis test. Okay, and we did these two in the last class. With another examples, I showed the same thing. Then we consider the dependent samples. When the samples are not independent of each other, we cannot do the Wilcoxon rank sum test. So what can we do if we have more than two groups to compare? So we just did this before. Now Wilcoxon rank test will only work for two groups. If we need more groups, then we use the Kruskal-Wallis. This is what I showed you in the last class. Now test for the dependent samples. If the rank are coming from the dependent samples, we call it the match pair samples or the repeated measures. So this violated the assumption for the Wilcoxon rank sum test and the Kruskal-Wallis test. But in this situation, Wilcoxon come through another test. We call it the rank. It is not the same as the rank sum test, but we call it signed rank test. So signed rank test is in scenarios where we have a non-parametric test but have paired data. So we have seen earlier that we have independent samples, so use the non-parametric test, Wilcoxon rank sum test and Kruskal-Wallis test if we have more than two groups. But what about if we have paired data? Then we use the Wilcoxon signed rank test. And the signed rank test, look at the differences and test whether the median of these differences is 0. Okay? Now what is the difference here? You can see that before we look at the mean rank, now we are looking at the median. So this is the difference. Now we look at the median of those differences is 0 or not. Okay? By looking at the median, the difference score must be ranked, and if the median is sufficiently far away from 0, we say that a change has been occurred. Now the hypothesis is always the median of the population of differences scored is 0. The alternative can be median of the population of differences scored is not equal to 0, or the median is greater than or less than 0. Now what are the assumptions here? So we have a random sample of match pair, and the differences for the pairs have a symmetric population distribution and can be ranked. Now the test statistics, we have n pairs, so we have find the difference of the n pairs of the observation, rank the non-zero differences in absolute terms. 1 is smaller than -5 and so on. And then we do this part. And then we consider this data set. So let's do this one. I wanted to show you using the match pairs. So baby sleep data, it's in the ELC. If you go to the ELC, you can see. Now I am opening this data set here from the data. So you can see that we have the data here. This is called the baby sleep data. We have awake and the asleep. Okay. So in this data set, we have the number of 10-minute time periods in a day in which 10 babies are observed to be asleep and awake. So we have the same babies, either they are asleep or awake. Naturally, if a baby is asleep, that it cannot be awake. So for a given baby, these data are dependent. So this is the dependent samples. So how can we do the match pairs? So we go to the analyze here and select the match pair. So where we can select the match pair, you go to this specialized modeling. Okay, I'm showing you one more time. Analyze, then specialized modeling. Okay, then select the match pairs. Now you have the two pair response. One is the awake, another one asleep. Okay, so we drag both these two in the paired response, then click OK. Now this gives you the paired differences, mean differences, but we'd like to do the Wilcoxon test. So how can we do the Wilcoxon test? So if you click on this small red triangle beside the match pair, you can say that Wilcoxon signed rank test. Okay. So if you do this one, you can see that this will give you the Wilcoxon sign rank test. So that means they are comparing the medians. Thank you. Okay, so the test statistics is here 10.500. Now whether there is any differences or not, so this is our p-values. So JAM doesn't know whether you are doing one-sided or the two-sided. The JAM gives all the p-values for you, but you need to select which one you are doing. So would like to know whether there is any differences here. So we can see that we can calculate this one by using this. So we get our test statistics, we get our p-values, and then we can make just a comment that, okay, we have insufficient evidence that median rank is different. Now, alternatively, we can calculate these differences already provided in this data and analyze the distributions. Okay. Now, if you want to do it in different ways, so you just calculate a column, we call it the diff column. Okay. So we already gave you this one. So we go to the analyze here. What happened? Distribution, then select the diff column here and drag it into the Y column box, and then check this one. Now the test bin, just select the Wilcoxon sign rank. And you can see we get this one. Wilcoxon sign rank test, we get the same results.
But that's only with the differences?
Yeah.
So you would have to calculate out the differences and something else?
Yeah. So either way is fine. You're gonna get the same results in both ways. And this is the one that I wanted to show you. So you can see that whichever approach you will use will give us the same result. It is up to us to know what our null and the alternative hypothesis are in the context. So we can use the correct p-value and draw the correct conclusions. Okay? Now if you would like to know that, okay, there are differences, they have a differences, so it's up to you what is your alternative hypothesis. But JAMP will give you everything for you. So you need to select what will be your alternative hypothesis and then do the test. So in this chapter, actually very small chapters, we learn 3 different types of the test. We can say the 2 tests. One is for the dependent samples, one for the independent samples. So independent samples, we use the Wilcoxon. Both of them are Wilcoxon. One we call it the Wilcoxon sign rank test, and independent sample we call it Wilcoxon rank sum test. So we use the Wilcoxon rank sum test for the independent samples if we have 2 groups. If we have more than 2 groups, we use the Kruskal-Wallis test. Now, Wilcoxon rank sum sign rank test we use for the dependent samples. That's all about this chapter. So I uploaded some practice problem for this chapter. So let's do some practice problems. Any questions so far? And please make sure if you do the course evaluation, send me an email if you want to get one extra mark for your evaluation. So if you don't send me, I don't know, I cannot give you. So I need to get a confirmation email from you that you did it, and then I can put your name in the list, and at the end I'll add one more mark with your total mark. Okay. Now the class questions. The non-parametric class questions, these already uploaded in ELC. So if you open this data set, questions here. Here is our questions. A clinical psychologist wants to choose between 2 therapies for treating severe mental depression. She selects 6 participants who are similar in their depressive symptoms and overall quality of health. She randomly selects 3 patients to receive therapy 1, The other 3 patients received therapy 2. After 1 month of treatment, the improvement in each patient is measured by the change in a score for measuring severity of mental depression. The higher the change score, the better, and the improvement score for these 2 are given. Now the first questions I ask you, what is your null and the alternative hypothesis for testing a difference between 2 therapies? Can anyone tell me? HR. So first of all, we need to know whether we are doing the independent samples or the dependent samples. So no difference between the therapies. No. That cannot be just if you see that no difference between the therapies, because in the non-parametric test we are looking at the difference between what? The average rank. So you have to mention this because this is not a parametric test. So we can say the average rank for improvement for the 2 therapies is the same. So this will be our null hypothesis, because you have to mention that you are looking for the average difference of the 2 ranks. So the average rank for improvement for the 2 therapies. The same. So this is our null hypothesis. What would be our alternative hypothesis in this case? HA?
Different values for the ranks.
So we are looking for whether there is any difference. So this is 2-sided test. So we can say that the average rank for the improvement for the 2 therapies differs. Okay? We don't have any specific directions.
Because this is an independent data set.
Independent, of course, but this is what we have to look for here. What is our alternative hypothesis is based on this.
Oh, okay.
It's not, doesn't matter whether it is dependent or independent. So alternative hypothesis does not depend on whether the 2 samples are paired samples or the independent samples.
So just, it depends on what
It depends on what is the description given. So in this case, we are looking for the testing a difference between the 2 therapies. So here the difference means we are looking for the average rank for the improvement. Keep in mind, since we have independent samples, because 2 therapy they are independent of each other, so now we can say that the average rank for the 2 therapies differs.
that'd be HA.
So this is our HA. Okay. So we get our null hypothesis, we get our alternative hypothesis. Now I ask you, enter the data into JUMP, conduct the appropriate test, include the output for the test. Okay, so we need to enter this data in JUMP. Now, go, open a new data table. So if you go to the file, you can see there is a new, then go to the data table, or you can just use Ctrl+N. So you open a new data table. But the question is that how we can enter the data. What do you think? So what will be our column name?
Therapy 1.
So you are saying the therapy 1 and the therapy 2? Then how can we do the data analysis? What is our,
We need to set up a difference column.
no, because we are not doing the paired t-test, sorry, paired sample. This is an independent sample. So we have two variables here. You understand how to write the data. So you have two variables. One is the type of the therapy. The other one is the score. So you have two variables. One is the type of therapy. The other one is the score. So we can say the type of therapy. And the other one is the score. Now the type of therapy, that means you can say therapy 1, therapy 1, you have T, put the score. So what is the corresponding score? 25, 40, 45. So this is how you have to arrange your data. Now, 2. Please stop me if you have any questions. 2. Now you plug in your data set here, 10, 20, 30. Now how can we do the data analysis? Now we enter the data into the JAMP. So this is the first part. Now conduct the appropriate test. So how can we do the test? We go to the analyze and choose fit y by x. Okay. So we select the analyze and choose fit y by x. Now you can see the type of therapy is your factor variable, that means which is categorical variables. The score is the quantitative variable. So we drag the score into the y response box because this is our response variables. Type of therapy is the factor variable. So we drag this into the x factor box. Okay. Then click OK now. Now you just get a one-way analysis because this is just like as ANOVA. But we are not doing ANOVA, we are doing the non-parametric test. So what we have to do, we click on this red triangle beside one-way analysis and choose the non-parametric. So which one we have to choose? Yes. Anyone can tell me? Okay, so let me see. So Wilcoxon test, thank you for your answer. Now, we know that this is a non-parametric Wilcoxon test, so we go to the non-parametric, select the Wilcoxon test. Now we know that there is only two groups, so this is Wilcoxon test, not Kruskal-Wallis test. And we can see that two sample test here, the normal approximation, one-way chi-squares, both gives we have small samples, refer to statistical table for test rather than large sample approximations. So if we look at this, we can see that the p-value is high, of course. Now, if p-value is high, what is our conclusions?
Fail to reject the null.
We fail to reject our null hypothesis. So we can see that here our p-value is high, so we fail to reject our null hypothesis. Copy, what I did. Oh, I wanted to copy the other stuff. Maybe it's better we can copy everything. So one-way chi-square test and the two-sample normal approximation. So since our sample size is not large, we can just use the one-way chi-square test. Okay, the two-sample normal approximation if the sample size is large. Okay, so we are not going to check this one. So one-way chi-squares here. So since the p-value is equal to 0.1266, which is greater than our by default p level of significance this, so we don't reject HO. So if we don't reject HO, that means we have sufficient evidence that, so we have insufficient, not sufficient, insufficient evidence that there exist differences. So the average rank for improvement for the two therapies differs. Okay. So here actually this conclusion should be here, because this is what I ask you, the conclusions. What is your conclusion regarding the two therapies? So this is our conclusions. Okay, so this is our first questions. Now, below we have scores on the first quiz for the 9th grade students in an introductory level French scores. The instructor grouped the students in the course as follows. Group 1 never studied foreign language before and have good English skills. Group 1 never studies foreign language before, have poor English skills. Group 3 studied at least one other foreign language, and this is their score is given. Now the first one I ask you, find the rank associated with each observation and find the mean rank for group 1. So how can we find the rank for each group? So group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay. So if we just copy this table here for examples, and if I ask you, okay, write the rank. So this is the group, okay. So this is the score, we can say. Ranks. So what do you think? What should be the rank of this? How can we write it down? So lowest score, if we just rank like this, okay, lowest one, then the highest go for highest. So what will be the rank? If we look at the score here, we can see that for lowest score is 1, okay, among all these 3 groups. Then the second lowest is 4, third lowest is 5, and so on. Okay, so if you rank like this, so what will be the 4, the rank for the 4? 2. So we put 2 here. Now rank for the 6. Okay, so rank for the 1. 1. Rank for the 5.
3.
But we have 2, 5. So we need to, this is tied, okay? So if we have tied, then we can take the average of this. So 3 and the 4, okay? So average is 3.5. Make sense? Now what about 6?
4.
We have already 3 and 4. So the 6 will be 5. Because we consider 3 and the 4 for the 5 and 5. Okay? We take the average of these two, so we get 3.5.
Okay.
So because they are tied, so now for the 8, 6, okay. Now for the 9, 7, 10, 8, and 5, 3.5. So this is our rank for each of these groups. Okay. Now we calculated the rank for each of these groups. Let me see. How did you 5? What do you mean by how did you define the ranks? Could you explain again? Yeah. The rank, I just look at the lowest score and put the rank according to the ascending order. So we started with the lowest one, so the lowest score is 1. So the rank is 1. Then the second lowest is 4, so rank is 2. Third lowest is 5, but 5 we have 2 5. One in group 2, another one is group 3. Now we have tied rank, so if we have the ranks, it should be 3 and the 4. So we take the average of these two, we got 3.5. So we put 3.5 for the 5 in both cases, and so on. This is how I get the rank. Is that clear for everyone? Francisco and you asked me, how did you 5? What do you mean by how did you 5? I didn't get your questions. You mean the how did I get the rank 5? So the rank 5 here, that's what I said. So look at these two. We have 5 and the 5, which is actually 3 and 4. Rank is 3 and the 4. So we take the average of these two, we get 3.5. Then the next rank is what? 3, 4 gone, then we have 5. So we put 5 here. So this is how I get 5. And then the 6 and then 7 and so on. Is that clear to everyone? Any questions? Okay, so I hope you got it. Now, the next thing, I ask you that mean score for rank 1, for the group 1, so mean rank for the group 1, so mean rank for group 1. So how can you calculate the mean rank for group 1? So 2 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 3. So we get 11, 12, 13. So the 13 divided by 3. So 4 point, so let me check. .333, okay. So we take the average rank for group 1. Okay, next questions. What are the null hypotheses and the alternative hypotheses in this case? HO. Now, first of all, you need to know whether they are dependent group or the independent groups. Anyone from the class? Are the groups independent?
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna do the Wilcoxon test. But we have 3 groups, so we call it the Kruskal-Wallis test. Okay? Now for the Kruskal-Wallis or the Wilcoxon sign rank test, sorry, rank sum test, we use the mean rank, not the median. Okay? So we can say that mean rank, what we'd like to know here that we want to compare whether their score is different or not. Okay? So that we can say that mean rank for on the French quiz for the students, the mean rank on the French quiz for students regardless of whatever their English proficiency is same, or we can say regardless is the same. HA, the alternative hypothesis. They are different. At least one mean rank will differ. Okay. Now conduct the appropriate hypothesis test and what is your conclusions. Now we don't have data in JUMP, so we need to import the data in JUMP. How can we import this data in JUMP? So again we have to open a new data table. Go to the files, open a new data table. Now we have to have 2 columns. One column is the group, so we can say group, which is not numeric, of course, nominal variables. The other one, we can either put the rank or we can put the score. That's fine. Okay? This is numeric, of course. Now group 1. What is the corresponding score? So let's go back. Put the score. 4. Six. 1. 8. 2. 1. 5. 3. 9. 10. And the last one is 5. Or you can just put the rank score. That's also fine. Now we go to the fit y by x. Our response variable is the score. Group is the factor. Then we do this one, and then we're gonna go and click on the rectangle and select the non-parametric and the Wilcoxon test. Wilcoxon test, you can see more than two groups with the Kruskal values or equivalent to Mann-Whitney U test. So this gives us our one-way chi-square test approximations. Okay. Now based on this, what can we do? Or what will be our conclusions in this case? So we copy all these things, paste it here. Now what is our conclusions? We can say we failed to reject our null hypothesis. Why? Because our p-value is higher. So we failed to reject HO because the p-value equal to 0.2093 is bigger than 0.05. Okay. So we can say that we have, so there is insufficient evidence to indicate that the groups with different English proficiency skills or proficiency, whatever, have different performance. When squeeze in terms of the average rank. So I put the details, conclusions based on this. Now we did here, you can see that we did two questions. One based on the Wilcoxon test, the another one Kruskal values, because here we have three groups. Now the last question that I am going to do here. A study has been conducted to investigate whether the first year college students really tend to gain weight below are the before and after weights for a random sample of 30 students. Okay, what are the correct hypotheses for these situations? That means what is the null hypothesis and what is the alternative hypothesis in this case? Can anyone tell me? HO.
We use the median.
Where is the median? Why? Because this is a dependent sample, and it's clear because we are same students, we are measuring one before and after. So this is a paired or matched paired design, so we consider the median. So what is the hypothesis we have seen? For the median Wilcoxon rank sum test or sign rank test, we call it the median of the population differences is 0. Now the alternative. So we can say the true median weight gain for college freshmen is 0. What is the alternative hypothesis? 8A.
Median is not 0.
Is it not 0? Because we are saying weight gain. So that means it should be higher, okay?
It's higher, yeah.
Because it's not that we are just looking for the differences. So that's very important that you have to know that the median weight gain is greater than 0 because we are looking for the difference is higher. That means after that we are saying that weight gain, that means after minus before should be greater than 0. Is that clear? So that's what you have to know what should be your alternative based on the questions. 8A. So we can say that the true median weight gain is greater than 0. Okay, so this is our null hypothesis, this is our alternative hypothesis. Now, I ask you what is the appropriate test here? Which test we should do?
Sign rank.
So Wilcoxon signed rank test because this is a paired data. So it is a paired data, so we cannot use the Wilcoxon rank sum test. We should use the Wilcoxon sign rank test. Now, what are the assumptions for this test?
So random sample of matched pairs.
So a random sample of matched pairs, okay? Or we can say dependent samples. And any other assumptions?
Differences with pairs have symmetric population distribution and can be ranked.
Okay, so the distribution of the differences is symmetric and the differences can be ranked. Okay. So we write our two assumptions. Now conduct the test. What is your conclusions? How can we conduct the test? We need to put all the values in our data set. Okay, in the jump data. Can you do this one for me by yourself? Then one thing I can show you that you can just put these two and then use the match pair, or if you want to calculate the difference column, I'll show you how to calculate the difference column. So I'm not putting all the data because it will take much time. For examples, so here we have before, so you can say before and the after. Okay, let's put some of this score, not all this score, because we don't have enough time to put all these scores here. So for example, 133, after in this case is 135, now 152, 160, then 169, 180. Now, as I showed you that either you can use the analyze and the select match pairs and then do it. You don't need a difference column. But if you are curious that how we can get the difference column, you can easily get it. If you select the calls here, I am just showing you for these three, okay? Select the calls here. Please stop me if you have any questions. then new columns. Okay. So give any name like say diff. Okay. Now click column properties. Look at these steps. Then select the formulas. Okay. Click column properties and then select the formulas. Then you put okay. We would like to take the difference between after minus before. So after is first, then subtract minus before. Click OK. Click OK here. And you can see that this gives you the difference column. Let me show you one more time. Click on the calls. Okay. New column, calls, then new columns. Give the name DIFFERENC, any name, but we just put the difference because we want to show that this is difference, okay? Column properties, select the formulas, then you select the after, from the top here subtract before, then click OK here, then click OK here, you can see this column. So this is how you can get the difference column and then you can use the difference column. So either way is fine. So if I ask you these questions and if I ask you, okay, create a difference column and do the analysis. So you have to create the difference column. And I showed you how to do it. If I ask you just do the mesh pair design, then you can use the mesh pair. So I can ask you to create a difference column from this and then calculate or do the mesh pair design or whatever. Okay. If I don't mention, you don't need to do it. So there are two ways to do it. So that's the end of this chapter. Any questions? So in the next class, we're gonna use, I'm just going to teach you how to include the categorical variables in the regression model. So this will be our last topics, which will be very small. And then in the next week, hopefully we'll do the review for the final exam. So we have like a couple of classes left. So we'll do the review for the final exams and I'll talk about more about the final exams and hopefully I'll upload the homework tonight for you guys. And homework will be based on this chapter and the previous chapter and so on. Okay? Now this will be your last homework. Please make sure you are sending me emails if you do the course evaluation, and I expect the course evaluation from everyone. So it will be good for me as well as it will be good for you to get one bonus mark. Do you have office hours on Friday? Yes. I have office hours today and as well as Friday, the same time, 3:45 to 4:45. And I also uploaded the guideline for the quiz project. You can see I put in a file saying that okay, sample project. So if you go to the project folder, you can see this is a guideline. And this is what I am looking for in every section. So all these sections should be in your project, okay? You need to verify everything. So this is a sample guidelines. I am sorry I misheard. When did you say the homework file will be due? Homework file will be due next Wednesday. If you want, I can extend until the Friday. That's fine with me. So the Friday, let's make it next Friday. I mean, not this Friday. So let me check the date. So then I can put the date here. So I don't have any issue with the... So the next Friday is April 30 at 11:59 p.m. Homework 5 is due. Okay. So this will be your homework 5 due date for the last homework. So I am getting vaccination tomorrow, so maybe Friday I will not come to the class because after getting the second dose, sometimes they told me that you will get fever, so I don't want to come to the class. So Friday class will be just remote. So those who plan to come to the class, don't come on Friday class. Any other questions from anyone? Please, I am just requesting again that please do the course evaluation for me. And please consider all these things that I provided when you are evaluating my course. Any other questions? If you don't have, then I can end the meeting. Okay, so see you on Friday.
I will turn in the evaluation